Hey all, Hipper here. So today we're looking at the Tiger 59, and if you remember, I gave this ship quite a rough send-off in the beginning. But first, don't forget to like, share, and obviously subscribe, and also comment. I read all the comments, so don't be shy. First, let's just look at my build here, because I'm running an Agile build on my Tiger, the exact same build I run on Minotaur and Edinburgh and pretty much any British cruiser. So that means double rudder here, no concealment. We have 3 repair parties, 3 smokes, and 3 radars, and it just gives you so much utility. You don't have any torpedoes in the ship, and that's a huge minus, especially for my playstyle, but still, it's okay. And if you saw, we have a 590 turn radius, so it's actually very agile. 2 seconds, it's not that fast at 34 knots, but it's not too bad. So the armor, the bow armor in particular, is 25 millimeters, so pretty much every battleship can overmatch you. So you're going to need that smoke there. So some of you might remember that I actually sold this ship here after playing it for a bit, and I've repurchased it now. I actually used my 35% voucher to repurchase the ship because this other CC, Hivehound, he keeps talking about it, and I thought, well, okay, I'll get it again, and I'll play it again. And it's the same thing I said back when I looked at the ship the first time. I mean, it's not a bad ship at all. It's just not a ship that the majority of the Legends players are going to enjoy. And especially since it's quite expensive. It's a tier 6 premium, so it's I believe it's 12,500 doubloons. That's a lot of doubloons for a ship that is very quirky, let's put it like that. And don't get me wrong, this is not a bad ship at all. It's actually quite good. But it does have very limited damage output unless you actually get into good positions. And that's the key with this ship. You need to position well. Otherwise, you're going to have pretty lackluster battles. In this case here, I'm thinking, well, I'm going to take this B cap here and I'm going to make it mine. That way no one can really come and grab it unless they rush me, because I don't have any torpedoes, like I said. But getting in here, I can pretty much have access to the whole red team, and I can keep my guns going most of the time. And with smoke and radar, I can defend this cap here quite easily. So it's a pretty good position to be in, pretty much where I try to be in all my cruisers on this map here. So the ship has Minotaur guns, and of course the guns are excellent, and it also means you only have armor-piercing shells, no HE with this ship, and that's another thing that might not, please most of the players in this game, because you cannot set fires, and I mean, you have to live off farming superstructures on battleships. It's a ship that takes some getting used to, that for sure. It's like an Edinburgh times 10, pretty much. The guns are awesome, though. Although you only have 2 turrets, you don't have 5 like the Minotaur does. But obviously this is a tier 6, so that would be a little bit overkill. I do miss torpedoes on this ship here, definitely. I really think it would have been nice to have like just 2, for example, on each side, just to keep, the worst raiders away, because you don't have sonar either, and in situations like this, that's actually quite a handicap when like a destroyer like this wants to take you on. But in this case here, this guy here with no camo wants to donate all his hit points, and well, that's fine, we shall accept. So I know Hive runs this ship here with a stealth radar build, and that makes total sense. I think that's the other build I would try. But I want to make this ship work with an Agile build, and it works pretty well with an Agile build. I mean, it has the fast acceleration, it has really fast rudder. It's okay fast, not the fastest, but it's okay, not too bad. I mean, it's a pretty good Agile cruiser. And if you get into trouble like here, where I accidentally put myself in front of 3 battleships, just use your smoke as a get out of jail card, and you will need it, because any battleship will just rail this ship here. So you gotta be careful. But you see here now, I'm at 15,000 damage at that point, and from now on I'm just farming battleship superstructures pretty much. And although slightly effective, it is a little bit boring actually. So I mean, it's not my favorite British cruiser. This one here is still Edinburgh Minotaur, is still like much more fun to play. But like I said, it's not a bad cruiser at all. I mean, the combination of smoke and radar just makes it absolutely deadly, and it means that you can take any part of the map like I did here and make it yours. All that is needed to make this ship almost perfect, in my opinion, it's just a few torpedoes really, to keep those battleships and, you know, rushers at bay. But obviously the ship doesn't have them and is never going to get them, so we'll just have to manage without. So this is still not a ship that I would recommend people to buy. Only if you want something totally out of the ordinary. Kind of like, it's pretty much the British Graf Spee, I think. But like, you gotta be like aware of what it is you're buying for 12,500 doubloons. And if you already have Minotaur or Edinburgh, I mean, it's hard to justify that, like, spending that money on a ship that, if we look at it in, you know, tier for tier, then, well, Edinburgh is the best pick really. And after that, Minotaur, and then I can be, you know, coaxed into saying, okay, then Tiger 59 probably, because I prefer this ship over Belfast, that's for sure. Belfast is a horrible ship, and Belfast 43 is even worse. So if you like those ships, then you would probably be well off with Tiger 59, because I much prefer this ship to the Belfasts. One of the huge advantages of putting an Agile build on this ship here is the fact that you get 3 smokes and 3 radars, because like I said, you don't have sonar in this ship here. So if you need to, like, find a destroyer around the corner, you're going to have to waste a radar, and that's less ideal. I mean, in both Minotaur and Edinburgh, you get radar and sonars. But if you want smoke on any of those ships, you're going to have to give up your radar, which is that's a tall order, I think. I never give up my radar if I have a ship that has radar, because it's just way too powerful, I think. If you don't have a smoke, well, just use cover like I'm doing here instead, because the radar is just it's just not something that I would ever want to give up for pretty much anything out there. So this New Mexico here, he looks like he is going to rush me. So we're going to have to try to get into a little bit of cover here, and there's a Cavour as well. So this is the situation where you would really like some torpedoes. Like, you're trying to fend off 2 battleships in here, and you don't have sonar, and I only have like a smoke pretty much to save me here, because it looks like they are attacking from both sides, and I'm just gonna have to, well, do the best I can. Had I actually had some torpedoes on this ship, I would have taken on that New Mexico immediately and maybe made him, you know, at least turn around. But as it is, there's not much I can do. I'm just gonna have to wait here and see what they are actually up to. And, you know, without sonar, I haven't got a clue what they're doing, because no one's on that side of the map to spot. So I'm trying to put some distance between them and me here, so if I have to, I can smoke up and still be invisible. Because I don't want to be too close to the battleships if I have to smoke up. And now there's a cruiser in here as well. So we take a shot, and then we're just going to see, is he going to shoot back, or what is he going to do? And my engineer says, yes, he's going to shoot back, and then we smoke up. So at least by spotting this cruiser here, I get some incoming fire, and like some people to help me, because now my battleship is spotting the cruiser, and I can just shoot at it. So like, you need to plan these things here well ahead, otherwise you're gonna be caught in some pretty nasty situations in this ship here. And the DPM being so low as it is, it's hard to shoot your way out of trouble unless you get citadels like I did there. But on destroyers, like you saw before, it's relatively fast, but it's not as fast as I would like it. So I mean, my main criticism with the ship is, yeah, I just don't feel that I am like participating much in the game really, and that means that the fun factor goes down a little bit on this ship here, and this is a ship that you pay for. So that's my main problem here. Like you're paying for something that's not actually that much more fun, if that much more fun, than the other ship that you get for free. So it's just makes it really hard to justify buying this ship, in my opinion. I mean, first I got it free, now I have actually bought it, and for me it's worth it. I mean, I like quirky ships, and I don't really have a problem with this ship here. I think it's quite good actually. But like I said in the beginning, I think the majority or the average World of Warships Legends player will probably struggle a lot in this ship, and I don't think people are going to have a lot of fun in it. And that's just my opinion. I could be totally wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm pretty accurate there. And also, it's quite a hard ship to play. It's not as difficult as a Radar Minotaur or something along those lines, or an Agile Albemarle, because you have smoke to get you out of pretty much any situation. Like before, when I messed up and went broadside to 3 battleships, that's okay. I just smoked up and nothing happened. If you do that in Minotaur, well, then you are finished in a Radar Minotaur at the very least. So I mean, it's not an easy ship to play at all by any means, but it's also not the hardest, at least not the hardest British cruiser. All the British cruisers are quite hard to play, but I'd say Tiger is probably, somewhere in the middle, in my opinion. So if you remember in the beginning, right after I shot that destroyer, I had about 15,000 damage. And I think we're going to end this battle here on just about 90,000. And we've made pretty much all that damage by just farming the superstructures of battleships. And then we got 2 citadels on that New Orleans, but that's it. And it's pretty much taken, well, north of 10 minutes to rack up that damage. Pretty much shooting the whole time. And it just gets a little tedious in the long run, I think. But of course, if that's your thing, then I'm sure you will love it. Sitting behind like an island like this, lobbing and just farming battleships, because the reload is good, and like I said, the guns are Minotaur guns, so they are very, very